The current day, the Russian military shelled the city of Zalizne in Donetsk region. Civilians who were queuing for technical water came under fire. This was announced by the head of the Donetsk military administration, Lysychansk. During the technical water delivery in the city of Zalizne, our residence came under fire. As a result, an employee of the utility company lost 3 fingers. A woman born in 1986 received a thigh injury, a serious one. It is unclear what will happen with her in the future, but we have what we have. The most painful thing was that a 9-year-old girl was thoroughly injured in the forearm. She is also a resident of Zalizne. The head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration, Pavlo Kyrylenko, said that on June the 19th, 2 civilians were killed and 12 others were injured by the Russian military shellings. According to Pavlo Kyrylenko, a total of 512 people have died and 1,331 wounded since the beginning of the war in Donetsk region. The data do not include the number of victims in Mariupol and Volnovakha, because they cannot be counted at this time. The National Police of the Donetsk region has recorded shelling of 10 settlements in the region with anti-aircraft missile systems, air-to-ground cruise missiles, grads, artillery and tanks. More than 21 civilian targets were destroyed, including 12 residential buildings. Police and the State Emergency Service inspect the Lysychansk bomb shelters every day and ask people hiding there to evacuate to safer places. The head of the Luhansk Regional Military Administration, Kryvyi Rih, said that 19 people had been evacuated this day. Citizens in civilian cars left Lysychansk together with the evacuation vehicle. Currently, the evacuation convoy has reached the Donetsk region. Then people would be taken to the city of Dnipro. During the current day, 12 settlements of the region were shelled by the Russian military from artillery and jet artillery. This was announced by the head of the Luhansk Regional Military Administration, Kryvyi Rih. In Severodonetsk, the territory of the Sklo-plastic plant came under fire. Rescuers' ranch was also fired upon. Fighting continues in the city. More than a third of the city is controlled by our armed forces. The other part is controlled by the Russians. Industrial zone, the neighborhoods about the industrial zone, and part of the city along the Seversky Donets. The current day, the housing stock of the region has suffered significant damage. Kryvyi Rih reports 19 damaged houses in Hirske and 7 in Vrubivka. In Lysychansk, the Russian military fired on several administrative buildings. It's quite dangerous in the city. Hits happen on residential buildings, on infrastructure facilities, on roads. On the night of June the 20th, the Russian military fired artillery shelling at the Kryvyi Rih district of Dnipropetrovsk region. This was announced by the head of regional military administration, Valentin Reznichenko. A private house was caught on fire as a result of the shelling in the village of Velika Kostromka. People were not injured. In the Novomoskovsk district of Dnipropetrovsk region, rescuers continue to put out the fire at the oil depot, which was hit by Russian missiles on Saturday. Work is underway to extinguish the burning tank and dismantle the debris. Currently, several settlements of Mykolaiv region came under fire from the Russian military. This was reported in the summary of Operational Command Pivden. There are victims and dead. The shelling continues in Bashtan, Mykolaiv region. Information on casualties and injuries is being clarified. 2 local citizens were killed as a result of Halytsyniv community attacks in Mykolaiv region. There was a fire on the territory of the private agricultural enterprise. Operational Command Pivden also reports about a missile strike on Ochakiv. According to the agency, in an attempt to destroy the port infrastructure, the Russian military hit the private sector. As a result, 2 people were injured and 1 died. Volodymyr Krutous from Kropivnitsky created a set of miniatures of the Russian military with items looted in Ukraine. In this way, the author says he wants more people to see the crimes of the Russian military. This is a looter who stole a washing machine, a figurine with a toilet. These things are looted. What in these bags we do not know. And of course a figurine with a doghouse. In this case, the dog is behind the scenes. She is sad because her house was taken away. The author called the collection of miniatures Mordor Looters. He believes that such words describe the Russian military in a most accurate way. In Ukraine, Moscovites are considered orcs, and orcs are from Mordor, and they are looters. I was touched by a few moments of looting. They steal everything they can get their hands on, even the doghouse that has become known to the whole world that has been stolen. Volodymyr's miniatures were bought by the owner of a Kropyvnytsky coffee shop to remind visitors about the war in the country. First, a lot of people come here, and second, so that people can see and remember who our enemies are and who we are at war with and what they are doing here. Volodymyr Krutous makes miniatures from polyfoam and spends 2 days making one figurine. I have been studying military history miniature for more than 30 years, even 40. I tried different materials, plasticine, wood, fire, and finally settled on polyfoam, because it is quite plastic. It can be not only cut, it can also be slightly crushed. Since 2014, Volodymyr has been carving miniatures dedicated to the Russian-Ukrainian war. After a full-scale Russian invasion, he made a copy of the Russian ship Brand. Patriotic memes can now only be seen on the internet, and these can be touched, turned over, photographed, especially since a person did with the soul, with a patriotic soul. According to Volodymyr Krutous, the next works will be dedicated to the Ukrainian military.